Next thing I want to go to is the system, the action center down here on the bottom right, the action center. This is a little icon that looks like a chat window, looks like a little speech bubble. So I'm going to click on this. So I want to point something else out about this. Cortana says, as you requested, I'll keep things quiet while you present. Cortana recognized that I had a projector hooked up to my computer, and so it's automatically muting and silencing all of my notifications. So Outlook, as I get an email in the middle of this presentation, will not pop up and show what my principal is trying to tell me about our kids, right? My kids can't see all my emails coming through. That's a really cool feature of Windows 10, is it automatically mutes those notifications. You may have to click this little expand button here to see all your quick settings. So there are a lot of cool settings here, and this is a quick way to get to all of your settings. But I want to point out two that I use all the time. So the battery saver mode, the little leaf. As you are in a training all day today, and you may not want to plug in, you may want to have your batteries last a little longer. If you hit that battery saver mode, it does a few things in the background of Windows. It kind of tones down the animations, it changes the colors a little bit, and it helps you save your battery, keeps your battery alive longer. This is really, really useful. Another one that's really cool is the screen snip button. Again, depending on what version of Windows, you may not have this yet, but it is coming. Like I said, you're all getting all the updates all the time now. So if I click screen snip, it is going to give me the option to very quickly take a snap of my screen, and it actually puts that straight into my clipboard. So now if I'm trying to send, and I do this dozens of times a day, when someone sends me an email saying, how do I get to this thing? I literally take a screen snip, go to the email, and hit Control-V. I just paste it. All right? It's in my clipboard. I just paste that picture, and it's right there. If I'm trying to explain to my kids how the heck you get to Clever, even though they can't figure out to just double-click the icon on the desktop, I can take a screen snip, draw an arrow, and I'll show you how you do that in a second, and say, click this, and then all your stuff's there, because that's what Clever does. I mentioned this Windows Ink Center, and I want to go back to that. I asked you to turn that button on, the Windows Pen and Ink Center. If I click that icon in my system tray, it brings up all the applications that support touch and inking. Now again, you may not have a $3,000 Surface Pro device, but you can use your interactive projectors to do this stuff with. So let's say I want to take that snip and sketch again. But this time, it takes a whole screenshot, and now I can actually draw on the screenshot. So I can I'm using it with my finger. I would use a pen on an interactive projector. You can highlight. In theory, you can actually click on it. You can put rulers in to make sure you're drawing actual straight lines. As a math teacher, this was awesome. This would have been great. So there's some cool stuff, but the most important thing is as soon as I do anything, up in the top corner you see there's this little copy button. That is now on my clipboard. So I take a screenshot, I put some instructions on the screenshot, and then I paste it wherever my kids are going to look at it. Now what we're going to talk about the rest of the day is something called Class Notebook and Onenote. If I'm using that in my classroom, that's where I'm putting all this stuff, right? I'm taking screenshots, I'm putting it in my class notebook, and now my kids have it right away.